What is going on, guys? Alejandro here, and welcome back to another episode of Magayon. In the last episode, we built the old port redevelopment as part of the Magayon Waterfront Redevelopment Program. It's focused on the construction and rehabilitation of key areas along the waterfront of the main island, all connected by a citywide bike network focused on usability, accessibility, and sustainability. So, as you can see in the last episode, we built the waterfront park, the bike network, which is going to be interconnected all across the city. And also, I told you that in the next episode, which is this episode, we're going to be building something special. In this episode, we're going to be building one of the very first mixed-use developments in the city at the base of Kapuntakan Hill, Bayview City. So what is Bayview City? Bayview City is one of the city's many city within a city kind of development. So if you're living in the Philippines, you would know similar projects like this, like Bonifacio Global City, Newport City, McKinley Hill, and so on. Bayview City is built on reclaimed land, which means it's one of the newest additions to the waterfront of Magayon. It is aligned with the goals of the Magayon Waterfront Redevelopment Project, which is usability, accessibility, and sustainability, and expands it with the following objectives. The first one being is that this must be a mixed-use development easily accessible by foot or by bike, with parking in the first and second floors. Retail and public spaces will be located at the base, with residential and office spaces on the upper floors. 80% of the land will be reserved for urban parks and green spaces. This development must follow the topography of the area and has unobstructed views of the Magayon Bridge, and this must not obstruct views from Kapuntakan Hill, and it must blend with its surroundings. I will be explaining this in a little bit more detail in a future video. But anyways, before I get too ahead of myself, Bayview City will be built in 4 blocks. It will be having 4 main blocks. The luxury Hillside Apartments, the apartments in retail block, office and commercial block, and the Magayon Memorial Park. So, without further ado, let's get started. So now, as part of the objectives, following the objectives of the Bayview City development, as you can see here, I'm plopping down these custom, I don't know what these assets are called, but they are just facades of retail, like famous restaurants and stuff. And I'm using this modular office building from the workshop, and this is what, following the objectives. This asset is very helpful in using that. Actually, I just made the objectives based on what I was building in the game, because everything that I'm doing is limited by how much the game allows. Because I certainly could make this, I could have planned this a little bit better, but because of we're playing a game and the game has certain limitations, I had to adjust to what was available for me. So now we are building, so just imagine that there are parking spaces underground, because I can't do that. If this was like Minecraft, for instance, I think I could have built the interior, but sadly Cities Skylines doesn't have that kind of function, unless you make your own assets though, which I sadly don't know. I'm building these in different tiers. So I said in the first and second floors would be commercial or parking spaces, which is what this first development is. The first development, this block here, the apartment blocks, what do you call this? The apartments and retail block. I will be building 2 main apartment buildings there, and their little private park, which is still, as you can see there, that's the 2 apartments. It's not that expensive as compared to the luxury Hillside residences, because these are like condo units. I'm not familiar with what they actually are in real life, because I haven't been too much in the city, because we live in the provinces. I mean, I live in the city, but not like city, like metro urbanized areas. So yeah, I'm just basing my knowledge off of what I've learned in school, on YouTube, and of course my little time in Metro Manila. For those of you who don't know, the series Magayon is a series where I try to recreate Southeast Asian cities, and I even said in the previous episodes that it takes many inspiration from the Philippines, but with a twist. The twist is that this project will be focused on an alternate reality wherein the Philippines was never even colonized. Like, wow, that gives me a certain edge of creativity and also limits, because I can still stay true to reality and also not, and have some fun. Which is what games are all about. Games are about having fun, and sometimes I get stressed, trying to plan this all out, and then I just realize that, oh, this is just a game. This is just a game. You don't have to be too serious about it, but you can be committed. But don't let it take the most of you, because that's gonna be hard. I've been there so many times. Anyways, I will be explaining the plans for this project, like Bayview City, the development. I am creating, because I may be using this. Learning this will be important for me, because I may use this skill that I am developing right now. I'm just developing. I haven't developed it. I'm not fully developed yet. I'm just like a teeny incy low squiggly line in the evolution of life or whatever. Anyways, I'm a big fan of video essays on YouTube, like Vox, the Nerd Writer, Johnny Harris, if you are familiar with them. Also those like people who explain, like real estate sellers, house tours and things like that. I'm very much invested in them. It's also explained videos, like this thing explained, the history of explained, and like things like that. And I want to make videos like that too, but it takes a lot of time and effort, and I'm just starting out on YouTube, and I'm not getting anything off of this, and most of my viewers are here for the build, and this is what we're going to be offering. And now, as you can see, I'm building a custom park on the top floor, which is for the private residents, and here is a little atrium. I don't know if it's an atrium. Is it an atrium? Yes, it's an atrium, because it's an open area in the middle of a building, and this atrium is open for the commercial spaces below. These roads are, all these buildings, as following the objectives, the guidelines or something by Bayview City, has unobstructed views of Magayon. So I will be showing you, or might have seen them in the preview, views from these developments, views of the Magayon Bridge, which is completely stunning. I actually thought that I would be just leaving this place, untouched, like just a bay, a shore, a little bit of houses here and there. But the more I thought about it, and then when I got into the ground in the first person mode, it struck me like this place is such a great place. It has amazing views, and it's so close from the Kapuntukan Hill, which I just named. It's actually the other name for the sleeping lion, which I built in the previous episode, but sadly I wasn't able to recreate it. It doesn't look like a sleeping lion. It just looks like a lump of dirt by the sea. I'm gonna be fixing that in a future episode. Don't worry. We're gonna be focusing on the waterfront in the first few. My gosh, my accent is showing again. In the first few episodes, we're going to be building the waterfront, mostly focusing on the waterfront. But if I get bored or I don't want to build there, I will be building other parts. But that would take a lot of time, because everything in Magayon has to be planned. Because if you don't plan things out and you just keep building, they won't end up good in the future, in the long run. So you see me place those palm trees, I would be replacing them, because in street view they don't really look that good. So I just replaced them with normal trees, as you've seen in the preview, and also you will see in the time lapse, which I'm very excited for you to see. I'm so excited for you to see the time lapse. This episode right here is one of the longest that I've worked on. I actually had four trials for this, because I was testing out different road layouts and different buildings on the top and different planning methods, and then I just like this one. What you're seeing here is not going to be in the final project. I was like, I'm gonna put like parking underground, and then let's build a park over it. And then I decided I had issues with trees, and then trees follow the terrain. So, and then the terrain here is lower, so I can't place bushes. Then it would be such a hassle. I would be placing props instead of trees, and that would make the game lag even more. And it's just a whole mess. So I just decided to just keep it simple and just keep it lit, keep it nice and minimal. Even though where it's a little bit extra. I got carried away. I told you guys, the goal for this series was to be medium detailed, focusing on the prominent areas, which I think I did, but I got carried away with the up next development, like the next after this next one, the day after tomorrow type of thing. Now, the day today, if the day after tomorrow is the next one, is the luxury hillside apartments, because it's by the hill. That's why it's called luxury hillside apartments. I didn't know what to place here, and I was like, there should be like rich people living here, because that's what in Legazpi, the city I'm taking inspiration for this. The rich people there. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Don't take me seriously. Most of the things that I do are just guesses and based on what I've watched on YouTube and my experiences. So don't take me like no, not seriously. Don't take me like as a fact. This is just an opinion. Anyways, so yeah, these are luxury apartments. Like these buildings are quite small, but the scaling in this game is not real, and I'm trying to make things look bigger even though they're small. And when I went to from above, it looks nice, it looks okay, but from up top, from the ground, you can clearly see that something's off. Anyways, we don't often stay on the ground. We're mostly on the top, because that's where we should be. Manifest that you'll be on the top, and manifest that people will be on the top along with you. Don't bring them down, because that's just bad. I've been actually so this community, the Cities Skylines community, is one of the best communities I've seen, especially for gaming. And the people here are so nice, and the comments actually make my day every day that I read them. So leave a nice comment if you want. If you don't, because I've already said, let's bring everybody up. Let's bring everybody to the top. Don't leave people down. Don't let anybody down, because that's bad. And speaking of top, the top of this, this area I flattened out like the hill and then reclaimed, displacing it, but still blending it with the surroundings, which is another goal. Which is another rule or something. The guidelines for this development is for it to follow the topography of the land and to blend with its surroundings. So you see me placing these houses along the ridges. I don't think hills have ridges, but anyways, on the slopes. And just imagine that these buildings are actually connected under the hill, and then there's parking spaces under it like that, but those are just dirt in the game. Just imagine. It's all about imagination, and when you have imagination, there's nothing stopping you except burnout. But that's another thing. That's not tangents. I made a script here, which you just watched in the first half of the video. Now I'm just winging this part while explaining it, because some things need to be explained, some things don't need to be explained. And speaking of not needing to explain anything, enjoy the time lapse. My voice is kind of annoying sometimes, and I'll be back whenever I have anything important to say or to explain. Bye! And I'm back. For those of you who were wondering, the props that I'm using here to make the vegetations are from the Green Cities DLC, which have helped me so much, especially for difficult terrain issues. If I'm placing them on a building, because trees can't be placed on buildings. There was a mod for that a while back, but I forgot where it was, or there's some compatibility issues. But we just work with what we have and let's stop complaining. Unless if it's crushing our existence, affecting our basic human rights. I'm talking to you, government. Haha, why did I suddenly do that? But I'm not taking it back. It's actually, if you're not familiar with what's currently happening in the Philippines, the rest of the world is almost, I think so, recovering from coronavirus. But here instead in the Philippines, in the first year after the lockdown, instead of us going completely off, we just had a massive revival. Like, there has been this highest surge in cases here. There are actually 10,000 new cases for a single day at the time of this recording, and there are 700,000 active cases here in the Philippines. And Metro Manila just I think, yes, Metro Manila is about to go on lockdown, but if you watch this video, they're actually on lockdown already, which is just sad, and it's a proof that the people in charge have to do better. Can say they just have to do something, because I don't think better is the term. How can you be better if you weren't even something? They just have to do something. We're asking for the bare minimum right now, and I don't think, in my opinion, it's being given. So in light of that, all of you Filipinos watching, I just want to take this time to say that if you're older than 18, which is my entire demographic, by the way, please consider registering to vote for this 2022 elections, because this is one of, if not the biggest way we can help change the country. Vote wisely for the future. Who even is wisely? Like, wisely, why don't you run for anything? I don't wanna be too political in this channel, but considering that millions of lives have been affected and thousands of jobs have been lost, and then after a year it has, instead of getting better, it has gone worse. I just felt that I needed to say this in my channel. And also, we're building Cities Skylines, like we're building up development, like we're basing this off of real life. And what better way to make it reflect real life than share what's happening from where we're basing it off of, which I think is a very nice way of letting you guys know what's happening here, and for us to be more, what do you call this, intimate, I think, which connection, just talking, because YouTube being a YouTuber, we're manifesting to become a YouTuber so that I can one day finally be able to make a bit of money off of it and help support me in my studies, because I'm going to be taking architecture when I go in college, which will be in a few months, which sucks because we started classes. I'm senior high school, I'm a graduating student. So any fellow grade 12 students out there, keri pa ba? Can you still, we're still holding on. Just hold on tighter, even though it's super duper hard right now. We're on a break. Our class is on a break, so I'm taking a lot of time with Cities Skylines and pushing out content. And I'm not going to be posting more often. I think I am going to be doing one video a week, and that's it. But but that's the goal. I will be uploading once a week, but I'm not sure if that's going to be a whole episode, a preview, or a shorter one. But I'm just gonna be uploading an episode a week. Anyways, with that whole what's happening in the Philippines and what's up in my life tangent, I'm going to be explaining what I'm doing right now. So now we're building this is the apartment block of Bayview, and I am building three main towers. Like, I just sank them down with Move It so that they won't obstruct views from Kapuntukan Hill, which is another guideline or a rule that this development must follow. So I put them at a specific height that won't obstruct the views of the bay if you're looking down. If you're looking down from it, from Kapuntukan Hill. Kapuntukan Hill is Kapuntukan. I think the word is punto, kapuntuhan. It's like the point at the edge point. I think, I'm not sure. I'm having a hard time naming these places because I myself have little understanding of my own place. Like when people ask me like, do you know where this place is, like in my own neighborhood? I don't know because I don't actually go outside that often. I am the neighbor's kid. I am just alone at home all the time. Yeah, it's kind of sad, but that was fun. But now it's not because of the pandemic. But because of me being used to not going outside, it didn't hurt me as much until things got worse. Anyways, I'm just detailing that. That build that you last saw, the office block. I'm following similar patterns, similar way of building it with the apartment block that I built in the first one, the mixed use one, which is the first floor parking, retail, and then the upper floor offices. And I just put some paths which are interconnected with the other islands. I'm building this. There's like a little explanation here, but it's going to be more explained in the future, like introducing Bayview City Magayon, something like that. Like you're selling a product. I don't know. I'm having so much just planning, just thinking about it. It's exciting, but things are easier said than done. Like I was planning on this episode and then it took me more than a week to do it. But we made it. We pushed through and now we're detailing and I keep on getting distracting. But at least I'm speaking things that make sense, that are aligned with what we're looking at. Because if I'm just blabbering random things that don't have any connection whatsoever to what's happening, then that would be just blabbering. That would be noise. But I hope you're getting something off of watching these videos that I build, because I read all the comments. Some of them I respond, some of them I don't, because I don't know what to respond to those questions and I think I'm not ready for them. People ask me for an asset collection and this and that, but I don't know how to do that. And some people ask me this and that, and I just want to keep a little bit of privacy, but mostly because I really don't know anything. So if you know how to do those things, hit me up in the comments or DM me. Not DM me. Follow me on my Instagram page because I'm accepting messages there. So just the link of my Instagram is always down below on my videos. And also, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll get exclusive sneak peeks of pictures of what I've built. And this video you're seeing here, I actually posted some pictures of this build a while back, a few days back, like before this video even came up. So if you want to get, it's like a Patreon but free. I still haven't started a Patreon because I don't think a lot of people are here. Enough people are here to support me on Patreon, and I actually don't know how to do that. I don't have not that I don't know. It's because I can't, because I don't have parents' permission yet. But fingers crossed. I do hope we get it as soon as possible. Well, very excited, but whenever the time is right, because I'm not that actually forward. Some of my classmates are telling me that, what are you building? You can make money off of that. And I'm like, yeah, I can, but I just don't know if people will actually pay me for what I'm doing. Yeah, some doubts and thoughts and stuff. And this series is one of my ways of talking to like-minded people, because a lot of my friends don't actually know what I'm building. They like what they see, but they don't understand it. Some of our friends are just, we don't have like the same music taste or things, but we are still friends or something like that. I like how those. Okay, mumble. Anyways, so you just watched me finish building the office block, the luxury apartments block, and the retail and apartment block, which is the three I built blocks, the 3 urban blocks of the development. And we have one very special one which is what I'm building here. Mind you, if I haven't told you this yet, that building that you're seeing there, that mall, it won't be in the final cut because I was looking in first person again. I didn't show this in the time lapse because this is gonna be super duper messy if I speed this up. So yeah, I thought it in a time lapse, and then the building was blocking views of the bridge. So yeah, it doesn't follow with the guidelines that I've set for this project. So sadly, it has to go, and I think it doesn't really suit it there. I'm just going to be building smaller shops or something in the future, I guess. I might not. You know, life is uncertain. We can never be too sure with everything. Things come unexpectedly, like my tangents, my brain. Okay, focus. Anyways, explain what you're doing on screen. Now I'm doing this crisscross pathways, like form these little circular grass plots, or whatever. This is like I've learned this, and everything that I know is from YouTube, basically. That's how I grew up as a person. Most of Gen Zs are learning off the internet. Most of their understanding of the world is from the internet, and it can be amazing and also scary at times. Anyways, focusing back on what I'm talking, because it's 2 a.m. here as of recording this video, and I want to finish it right now because it's gonna be very, very busy in the next few weeks, and I'm working under the shadows, like this series. I'm recording this whenever the people are already asleep because I don't want people to know that I'm doing this. Like, not that I don't want people to know, It's just, they might not understand it. They might take it the wrong way. But, they will someday. Anyways, yes, these pathways that I'm building here, they prevent flooding from happening, because instead of it being covered completely by concrete or pavement, the water will be sucked in by the roots of the trees and go down in the ground, and is another way to mitigate flooding. And I'm going to incorporate a lot of mitigation efforts, disaster response, resiliency, and ecological truthiness to the project, because why won't you apply things you've learned to the things you're doing? Because it's application. That's how we work, that's how we function as human beings. So I decided to push myself to the limit. No, not pushing myself, I'm just pushing myself, even though it's annoying, but the results, as you can see, are amazing. If you want to live in Bayview, if this was in real life, it would be a bit expensive because it's a private development. Most of these spaces are expensive. It's not actually for everybody. And the people who used to live here, that I said in the previous episode, who were sadly removed from this place to make way for Bayview, were located there in the old Magayon district. There's a little bit of residential block there. If I haven't shown you yet, I detailed it. Yeah, I think I haven't shown it. Some of the things have not been recorded in the time lapse, have been skipped. Like the end of this video, I changed the trees or something along the boulevard, and I wasn't able to fill it in. Grilline. Whoa, it's me, a friend. I actually don't have TikTok. I haven't TikToked in a while because I'm focused on City Skylines, and that's better. I don't get distracted easily. So I'd rather spend my time. I'd rather, you do believe in this saying that if you enjoy the time you wasted, you didn't actually waste your time. And speaking of time, it's almost time for the end of this video. I'm just going to be placing some trees along this line, and that's gonna be the end of the video. Anyways, I hope you I'm mumbling. I hope you enjoy this video as much as I did making it, even though it's quite a bit stressful because of the blocks in the road that I had with this. But we persevered. We must push through all the time. Consider liking this video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below what you want to see next.